Alright, so I got a 2004 Yukon XL. If you have one of these and you need a starter, I'm gonna pray for you because it's not an easy job. First thing you want to do is disconnect the battery, 8mm or 5/16. I go with 8mm. I don't like metric. Next thing you want to do is you're gonna have to remove the dipstick. It is gonna be a size 15mm bolt, and it's gonna be bolted in right here. After you remove that bolt, you'll have to keep spinning the dipstick, like keep twisting it, if you will, in order to like break that little ring loose, and then just pull it up. It's not bolted to the actual engine. It's only bolted to a mount on it. So it's just that one bolt. Boom. Take that one bolt out, and then you'll have the clearance in order to back that starter up, because if you won't be able to get it out the slot without getting that that dipstick out. So this is where it sits. You see the dipstick hole right there. The starter sits in right there. So you see the type of space that we're dealing with. Now the main problem that you're gonna have seeing is it's an XL. You got this torsion bar going across, and then the transaxle is the actual problem. There's the mount that sits right here. It sits right in front of the starter. That's gonna stop you from getting it. What you're gonna need first, you're gonna need to find one of these bolts that go all the way through this transaxle. I'm gonna show you. This is the bolt. In comparison to my hand, you see how long this bolt is. When you get under here, it's gonna be fixed in like this. There is no way for you to pull this bolt all the way out. Boom, look, you will bottom out. So what you're gonna have to do is, you're gonna have to find this bolt at a junkyard or at a dealership and purchase this bolt before you even get started with this job, because you're gonna have to cut this. It's supposed to come out this way. You got two options: either take this oil pan off in order to make this bolt clear, or cut it. You want to cut it. Cut this bolt, size 21 on both sides. Then you're gonna come down here on the bottom of the transaxle where the axle comes in. It's gonna be two 21mm nuts. Holding on to those two. You're gonna take those off. It's gonna be a 21 on that, and it's actually gonna be on the outside right here. You're gonna take that off. In order to maneuver this bracket, which is all the way stretched all the way across, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. It's pretty long. In order to maneuver it, you first have to take out this first bolt, then these two, then that one down there, and then you also have to drop the transaxle. In order to drop the transaxle, you just took off one mount. Then you go down here to the middle. You got another set of bolts right here. It's 21 on both sides, and then another one up top, right there. Oh, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can get you a good visual. All right, it's like right about there. It's another set of 21mm bolts. They look like that, right? They look like that, right? After you get those down, make sure you got a jack up on your transaxle, because it can drop down all the way up until it meets this frame right here, you know. So don't be under it when you take those bolts out. Then after you get that clearance, you'll be able to move this around. You'll need a pry bar like so in order to pry that one out of that hole right there. It's gonna be a doozy. If you don't want to drop the transaxle down, you may be able to disconnect the AC compressor, and that will allow you to clear this one right here. But in order to clear this one out of that hole, I had to drop this transaxle down, the whole entire thing, not just this section, because this is where it was held up at, not just dropping the axle. So the mount up here is what was keeping me from flexing in order to do what I needed to do. So in turns, you will need size 13 for your starter, two 13mm bolts. On the back, it is a 8mm for the negative and 13mm for the positive. I use the punch to ultimately punch it all the way out of the hole. You'll need jacks, jack stands, transaxle has to come down, dipstick has to come out, battery has to disconnect. It is a shit show. If you have to do this, I wish you luck. If you're charging, it better be triple digits, over $200, $300 up there. Call the dealership first, see what they charge her, and we'll go from there, because it's not a fun job. I've spent, 4 hours doing this shit so far, so yeah. So, give you a quick run through once again. Disconnect the battery. Okay. Pull the dipstick. Battery 8mm. It's a 15mm. Then you can come down here with a 21mm. Hit that bolt. Hit that bolt. Those go to the transaxle mount. And you'll slide up under it. Hit that bolt. No, it's a nut. Hit the nut. Hit the nut. The 21s, that'll be loose, but it won't come down. You'll come through here if you can, and you're gonna see the starter, the back of it through there. You're gonna hit the 8mm for the negative and the 13mm for the positive. You're gonna see it through there. You're gonna be able to hit it, and then slide up under there. It's gonna be two 13mm right around there. This bracket is gonna be in the way. You know, the only way you're gonna get it out is to go on the other side, hit those two 21s. 21 right there, 21 up top, and then the axe transaxle will drop down. That'll allow you to finesse this mount out of the way, and then you can wiggle your starter through here. In order to put it back up, it's the exact opposite. Slide your starter in. I would bolt that starter all the way down before you do anything. As soon as you get it in, I would bolt the wires and go from there. If this video helped, like, subscribe, share it. You know, somebody with a Yukon XL, share it to them. They will appreciate it. Sooner or later, your starter will go out. It's Marcus, the mobile mechanic. Like and subscribe.